Welcome to another episode of the Byte-Sized Brief. I'm Brian Esty, your host, and today we're joined once again by one of Fortellar's finest, Gerald Siciliano. He's our Senior Infrastructure Engineer. We're super excited to have you back for another question, so let's get right to it. Today's question is, where do people typically bypass controls because they slow the business down?
Fortunately, this is something we do find. It's usually caught during a system audit. We'll see users creating local accounts, bypassing centralized authorization and logging. Maybe they're just trying to time and logging in. Maybe they're trying to bypass access controls, setting up pseudo privileges where their account should not have these. Typically, maybe that's just because they're wanting to save time from going to a centralized password vault, retrieving a password, logging in. They're just looking for a quick and easy. Other areas we're seeing that is to bypass automation processes. They're looking to get something done. They're looking to get it done quickly. Maybe it's a one-off fix, but they're bypassing a pipeline. They're bypassing the process. And why are we doing this? Generally because they're trying to get something done. Maybe the process in place is too rigid, too restrictive, so they're looking to streamline their work. Generally, this is going to happen during troubleshooting. Maybe there's an issue going on. We don't know what the problem is, so we'll start disabling services. Maybe it'll disable local firewall service. Maybe it'll be the antivirus service. But generally, these are being done because they're in a rush. It's generally during troubleshooting, and they're looking to get a fix in place.
And I'm assuming that's super bad for business, right?
You're bypassing system controls, which is opening yourself up to vulnerabilities. You're also going to cause audit issues when these things are captured down the road.
So what can be done to stop this from happening?
The way to handle this is when issues arise, any changes to the system, there should be a ticket created. There should be some sort of tracking method where we follow a process, document the steps to recovery. This way there is a capturing of what is being done. Did someone create a local account for troubleshooting? Was antivirus turned off? Did we bypass change management? I mean, there should be an audit of what's taking place on the system. And the best way to do that is, you want to have auditable paths at all time. You don't want people having elevated access. You want people following automation. But we do understand that there's emergency changes that could need to be made, but there should be an exception process to change control if that's the need. There should always be a way to accomplish what needs to get done without having to take these steps.
So the main takeaways would be have a trail of evidence, right? And documentation to make sure that everything is in the right place so that when things do arise, we know the right steps to take to make sure that everything is safe and secure.
Will be audited at some point. It should always be audited at some level. There should be automated processes in place where they're checking to see if antivirus is running, if firewalls were disabled, if local accounts were created, if someone's modifying pseudo privileges. These things should be caught through auditing, through automation, because you don't want to compromise your systems, leave yourselves vulnerable to other forms of intrusion or attack.
That makes sense. Thank you so much, Gerald, for your commitment to keeping businesses and people safe. I really appreciate your time with us today. Well, that's it for this episode of the Byte-Sized Brief. Let us know in the comments what you'd like to hear about in a future episode. Until then, we'll see you next time.